Are we hot, Katrina? All right, we're hot. We're live. Welcome to the next installment of Books and Brews with Robert Swathwood. Shut up, Brian.
He
with your
didn't
smirk.
say anything.
I can see it. I can see it. Yeah. Welcome to this week's episode, this month's episode, my apologies, of Books and Brews with, I was going to say Parker Swathwood.
Whoa.
Robert Swathwood.
That's
Katrina
meta.
Swathwood.
Hello. You don't need to hit me.
Alan Berserker.
Yes, that is my name.
Brian Perfume.
Okay.
and Sir Matt.
You brought that guy back again. Why?
Oh, he's fun. He knows a lot. I feel like he adds some information, some legitimacy to our ramblings. Is
He just acts like he knows a lot.
that it?
Well,
That's
isn't that how everything works? You just
fake it till you make it?
yeah, and then bam, you're the expert.
Yeah, tell that to my wife. Zing.
Heyo.
Which I don't have. Oh, see, faking it.
Double. Yeah.
Faking it.
Just like
faking
my
it.
wife, which I implied because she's dissatisfied, but she also doesn't exist. So
No respect.
Right. Okay. We're here. We're doing this. I guess it's going that route already. We're back. This is our third installment of this little thing that we're trying out. That's going pretty well. Today Brian and I went over to Burning Beard, which is in El Cajon, California. I have the address.
Wait, where is it?
El Cajon, California.
Where?
You really don't know?
No.
It's on Vernon.
Oh.
Burning Beer, which is 785 Vernon Way, El Cajon, California, 92020.
Yeah, I never heard of them till tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen their beers around a lot, but it's my first time actually having them. I'm actually very satisfied. It's quite good. I'm trying
Yeah.
the Pilsner. It's very lightly. It's got a light maltiness to it, and it's very good.
Yeah.
The
Reminds me of-
Pilsner is called Normcore.
yeah. Reminds me of old Milwaukee.
Normcore Czech style Pilsner, 5.5%.
Yeah, like an old school like Milwaukee style beer.
But no, I put some pictures out of the on my Instagram, 9to5nerds, and we were helped by Shannon, which is the manager of Burning Beer, who has to be one of the nicest people I've ever had at any sort of restaurant, brewery, anything, any sort of service situation. She was incredible, right?
Yeah, she was very friendly, very helpful. She gave me string cheese because I was hungry.
Yeah, they don't have
Like, she
food.
hooked it up.
They gave Brian string cheese because he was hungry. She was.
Yeah, I asked if they sold food, and she's like, "No, but I have some string cheese. I don't mind sharing my snacks."
Yeah.
She was flirting with you.
Sure.
No, she was just polite to everybody. There is a difference. And usually you can see through that bullshit fairly easily.
Okay.
And she was just generally nice. Genuinely nice. Genuinely nice.
Wow. Sharing string cheese with a stranger.
I mean,
we didn't like Lady and the Tramp it. Like she gave it to me. And
Wait, how do you eat your string cheese? Do you peel it or do you chomp it?
Recently I chomp it.
I chomp it now.
Yeah,
I don't peel it.
Yeah.
No, but she was there by herself, and there was probably a good 15 to 20 people there.
Yeah.
And she fucking rocked that counter. Like, nobody's waiting long. She, the only thing she asked me, because we were ordering 5 crawlers, was that as soon as I knew what I want, just tell her so she can can it right away, so she's not having anybody else wait or us wait. But she explained every beer to us. She explained the difference between all the different IPAs. I'm not drinking a Pilsner right now. I'm drinking the Get Thee to a Monastery. It's a Belgian style double.
I believe it's a double.
It's 7.5%. What was that, Matt? I couldn't hear you.
Double.
Okay, there we go.
Doubles.
And it is delicious. But we'll talk more about their beers throughout the episode because we're going to continuously drink them. But the food today is Valley Farms, which is in Spring Valley, California. We're located in California.
That is correct.
They are at 9040 Campo Road, Spring Valley, and unlike Burning Beard, which I had never been to before, but I heard about it.
How did you hear about them?
I just have friends that go there. What?
You have friends outside of this podcast?
Yeah. Well, we can put it this way. Eric Galactus, who's been on here, his parents go there quite a bit. I have ex-coworkers at Home Depot that go there quite a bit. So it's a good little spot. But I had never been there before. I have today. Like it a lot. Valley Farms, on the other hand, I go to roughly
daily.
roughly 2 times a week.
Are they the reason why you have stomach problems?
Majorly, yes, that would be correct. He'll message me during the day and be like, I shouldn't eat that for lunch.
Well, here's the deal with Valley Farms. If you haven't been there, all of us have been there. Matt, you haven't been there yet?
I have not been there, but I've had catering from there, and I really like them.
Yeah. They
You also ate it today, so.
And
Yeah.
tonight, it was really good.
and we'll
too.
talk about that. We had ribs today, chicken, sausage, tri-tip, magic beans, mac and cheese. That cover all of it?
Hawaiian rolls.
Hawaiian rolls. I've had their pulled pork. I've had their brisket.
Is the pulled pork what we had for lunch?
Yes.
Is that Timmy's place?
Yes.
This shit's so good.
It is so good.
Yeah, their pulled pork is good.
So here's the thing: they have a smoke shack there that has all their smoked meats. You can sandwiches, ribs, whatever. But it's a full market. It's and they got a full meat counter that is actually everything's butchered in house, everything's seasoned in house. I did find out today, Katrina, that they do have brisket, but they don't carry it in the meat counter. They carry it in the back, probably because they're so large. They don't want the brisket taking up so much space. But they are. Man, I love Valley Farms, and they're opening a second location for the first time ever in La Jolla. They have a huge beer selection, local beer. Staff's friendly. I love their pollo asada and their huli huli chicken. But what I go in there for, why I'm there so often, is if I didn't bring something for lunch or I'm not feeling my lunch, they not only do they have the smoke shack where you can get all the stuff that I said, but they have 2 hot counters inside where they make in-house lasagna, bacon-wrapped kielbasa. They put tri-tip out there. They put ribs out there. They put grilled steaks out there. They put hamburgers, hot dogs. No, but I go in there. I like the bacon-wrapped kielbasa. They have it pretty regularly. They also have meals that are like this last week I had pollo asada and rice. They have a lot of good hot counter stuff. I've had tons of different cuts of meat at their butcher counter, and their smoke shack is great. Plus, they make sandwiches from boar's head meat, which is pretty fucking good.
I'm a fan. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can attest to boar's head, and it's delectable. I probably wouldn't ever eat a boar's head, but like the rest of it, like it's cool.
Ooh, boar meat is good, man.
Like the beehole.
Yeah, it's delicious.
That's what they make hot dogs out of.
Yeah, I like.
And also pigeon heads, rat tails, and the
Boot,
piece
leather.
of a shoe. I'm going off that episode of The Simpsons when
Yep.
Lisa became a vegetarian. So it's just like he's like, I can make something else for you, Lisa. But like rump roast, hot dogs, and then like she's just visualizing all the parts that were made in.
Going into the meat.
I like Bart's twin making a pigeon rat. That's one of my favorite. Look, I mean, and it flies into the wall and then tries to crawl into the hole.
Hugo was an inventive genius. I have to
Yeah,
admit.
Hugo. That's right.
Yeah.
That was that's one of my favorite Treehouse of Horrors because it
Yeah.
also had the 3D Homer. And they're like, has anybody ever seen that movie Tron? And they're like, no. Wiggum's like, yes. I mean, no.
And I still have to this day. I have not seen Tron.
Ooh, erotic cakes.
Ooh. You mean there's a magical, wonderful animal that all this meat comes from?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Valley Farms, great. Big shout out to Derek over there. He did us a solid. And
I have to say their brisket,
oh yeah,
they smoke it on the weekends. If you're fortunate enough to get some while it's in stock, they do a fairly well brisket.
And I'm happy to say that this was my one cheat meal for the week, and I'm happy it was.
Nice. Yeah.
Just fighting dad bod where I can.
Their sausage is great. I love their sausage.
yeah.
You can quote me on that. I love their sausage.
That'll be the intro to the episode.
You got it.
I like how we both did that
It
at
was.
the same time.
Yeah.
It was in stereo instead
It
of mono.
was. You're welcome, listeners.
Yeah, we're gonna do some. What is that? ASMR.
Yeah. Nice to meet me.
Anyways, and a big shout out to Burning Beard and Shannon at the brewery. It was really, really good stuff. But we're going to talk about that throughout the episode because I'm going to want more than just this delicious Belgian that I'm drinking.
You bet you can't drink just one.
We I think this episode and the last episode we've narrowed. Wait, Katrina, you didn't say anything about the food.
It was really good.
It's going to be that kind of night.
Oh, never mind. I was going to make an off-color joke.
What was it?
You're giving her permission to speak.
Yeah.
That's not it at all. I was trying to have her contribute. I hate you.
So I said never mind.
Yeah. It's not funny. Get the fuck out. Wait, is my kid here?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He didn't hear me.
It's like I said, they probably say worse at the playground.
Yeah, yeah, Oliver for sure. Which is funny because he's my younger one. No, I'm past the point of like I don't swear in front of the kids. It's very rare. But now that I know, Parker basically at his age knows every swear word, but he knows not to say them. So at this point, if he hears something, I'm like,
Is that a challenge? Like to find one he doesn't know?
no, because I'm sure there's some really bad ones that he doesn't know and I don't want him to know.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm sure there's something
Challenge
you know
accepted.
that you don't know yet.
You're probably right.
You gotta get on the old Urban Dictionary and get hip with the kids' lingo.
It's just all emojis.
Yeah. Are you kids out there eggplanting?
Eggplant. Have I sent you that GIF?
Which one, the hot dogs?
The eggplant one.
No. You have to send it now.
But no. Oh, the first episode, I think we did what? We did 2 comics and we did 2 trades and one single issue. And then last one, we kind of narrowed it down because I think 3 books is a little much.
Yeah. Well, one of them being way longer than the rest.
Yeah, we read Punk Rock Jesus. Was it Punk Rock Jesus? That was called? We read Punk Rock Jesus last time, Matt.
Cool, which is a absolute one of my favorite stories. of
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was a fun book.
Phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about it. It was really good. But this time around, we are reading.
Same.
What?
Super good.
You didn't read it, Brian. He was like 30 minutes before the episode. He's like, I can read this in time, right? I'm like, no.
Did you at least read them after the fact, right?
No.
I know.
You're missing out.
But this time around,
2 out of 3 were good.
I made it to this one.
I'll give you that.
Slightly.
I'm gonna drink this beer. We're gonna talk about this comic, and then I'm gonna drink some more beer.
What comic is it?
We are reading Ryan Ottley's Grizzly Shark. Ryan Ottley,
Who's that?
famous for Invincible, and currently drawing
The Amazing Spider-Man.
the Glenn Spiderman comic.
He does do the Spoderman.
Oh, it's Phil Spiderman.
Yeah, he does do that spider guy.
Yeah, he's what's funny is when I've gotten some stuff signed from him and I've a few commissions from him, and the line's really gone up since he started doing Spider-Man. It's really
Rightfully so.
yeah,
Rightfully so. He's been doing a bang-up job. And, of course, I'm a Spider-Man reader of 27 years. And I think he does a really good job that adds a lot of humor to it, a good style. And it's an energy that fits the narrative that Nick Spencer has been going for the book. And I feel like I've said that before on this podcast, too, because you've grilled me about, like, Spider-Man on the book, so it's like that. Because I say this as a guy who hasn't really dived too much into Invincible. I think I've read, like, the first 24 issues or so, not the entire thing. But, and so...
I feel like it would be up your alley.
Yeah, I know.
it's a very good book.
It's a very good book. I mean, I've read enough of it to know the gist. I just haven't read the entire thing, because it was, like, 130 issues or something? 150?
44.
Yeah, 144.
140.
12
so.
times 12.
Okay, so yeah, I still got a chunk of change to plow through for Invincible.
He knows math.
That's right.
And I know Spider-Man.
But I like the fact that a lot of Ottley's characters still look like Mark Grayson in several, because his style is very distinct.
Well, he also is really good at doing comedic faces. When he draws somebody doing a derp face, it always makes me
But
chuckle.
he leans into it that people give him a hard time that it looks like characters. He does this thing on his Instagram where his son will just draw a squiggle, and he'll draw something from the squiggle. And he's come up with some really cool. He's an interesting artist. He does some really crazy stuff. Are you gonna look it up?
Yeah. No, I'm looking at the...
But Grizzly Shark is written. What? Oh, Alan just got the eggplant gift.
That's mine.
You like that?
It's a throbbing
What,
eggplant.
yours? Yeah. There's one that has a throbbing eggplant and it has like a throbbing peach.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder what that signifies. Oh, you kids with your emojis.
But no,
So they'll be docking and then giving each other blumpkins.
Blumpkins.
I feel so bad that I actually know what that means.
Yeah. Blumpkin. You know what a blumpkin is?
No.
You want to enlighten him? You know what a blumpkin is, Katrina?
Let's not.
I'll save the spoilers for just look it up on Urban Dictionary.
All right.
No, Google search it with an image with the
Do it,
scissors
do it.
Oh yeah.
You can't
Actually, your best reference if you went to lemonparty.org.
Or go to
That's
Bing.
some old school stuff right there.
A lot of
Blumpkins.
directions to give somebody.
No, you can't go to Google. It doesn't give you the not safe for work stuff. You got to go to Bing.
Well, I have the description.
Read the description. Well, maybe we don't want to because we have a brewery and a restaurant here that have.
So anyway, Grizzly Shark. How about that Grizzly Shark
Thank you,
by
Matt.
Ryan Ottley?
And Grizzly Shark is written and
Directed.
by Ryan Ottley.
I will
so
say
he's-
I would not be a fan of this.
don't knock it till you try, bro.
No,
Yeah,
thanks.
don't kink shame, dude.
Blumpkin, spaceporting.
Okay.
Save that for our next book.
Yeah, this is, no.
Did you look up spaceporting?
I'd want her to come back. This ain't gonna do it.
Yeah,
That,
but Grizzly Shark is something that really lends itself to it's obviously it's pure Ryan Ottley because he wrote it and did all the artwork on it, but it shows his sense of humor and the synopsis. Should I read the synopsis from officially online or should I?
Yeah. Give us the
Let me
official
see if I
rundown.
can find it.
It's a Skybound book, is it not?
It is not. It is an
Image.
image book with no Skybound imprint on it, but it might be before Skybound.
I think it was pre-Skybound, right? 2010.
Yeah.
It does have a nice little letter about the origin of the two characters by your boy Kirkman.
Ryan Ottley of Invincible presents the long-awaited and blood-splattered Grizzly Shark trilogy. What began as a sold-out cult hit one-shot comic is now... that's just saying what it is. Let me see if I can find a synopsis. Here it is. I got it. No, I don't. It's about a shark that's in the woods.
It's Jaws, but instead of it there being a bay, it's the tops of trees.
Yeah, it's a forest shark, and it works.
Well, it's in the grass too, in the part
Yeah.
of it. But one thing that Otley excels at is blood and gore.
Yep.
And this book is
Got it in spades.
yes, God insights. I'm gonna say you guys can all take your turn saying what you liked about the book, but my favorite window in the whole book is when the fucking shark is fighting the sea bear. And he scoops up sand with his fin and throws sand in the bear's eye like a dirty fucking fight move. I laughed so hard when I read that. Oh my god. It's so good. No? I love that part so much.
I did, but I have a part that I like a little bit better.
Here's Robert Kirkman's little synopsis on it. It says, "The terror of the seas is now the terror of the lands, but it's not just action and gore. Buckle up for a tale of heroism and triumph of the human spirit as a band of victims takes a stand, hoping to once again make the woods safe for picnics again." Seriously, it's awesome.
One thing I noticed that stands out the most to me is the looseness of the image. You could tell that this was a rushed job, and it doesn't take itself seriously, and it only helps the book. The quickness of it's not
clean.
It's not
tongue in
clean.
cheek,
It's not
yeah.
clean art. It's just it looks like it's done very quickly and very just get it out there, and it works, and it helps the pace of the book. It helps the style of the book, and it just makes it a lot funnier.
Yeah, there's no depth to it, nothing to analyze. What you see is what you get.
Wasn't the first issue of this one of those 24-hour challenges? 'Cause isn't that a comic artist? They have to do a thing where they do a book.
Yeah,
in
there's
24
the
hours?
24-hour comic day. I'm not sure if this.
I don't know
was
if this was that, but I part of me wants to say, you gonna look it up? Are you
I'm looking it up.
okay?
Well, I got. Or
Katrina, he said you can speak now. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll have my input now.
Careful, Robert.
okay, so the first issue was actually done during 24-hour comic day, so
Nice.
that's why it is so rough.
Good memory.
I'd say something, but I shouldn't.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you're
How
not
the
being
tables
spoken
have
to yet.
turned. Wait, is this like he had to draw a comic in 24 hours?
Mhm.
Like,
You have to-
like create, draw, color, all that
Yep,
shit?
all
Okay.
of it.
So you
Yeah,
can have the
normally they have a
idea at
month to
all
do that.
until he got the challenge.
No.
And the challenge
You
is
got
instead of a
Grizzly
month, they do it in 24 hours.
Okay.
So of course the artwork is not going to be as cleaned, and like when your average penciler will take a 24-hour period to do a page.
I think he had someone else do the coloring on it, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Yeah.
You can't put it all together for yourself. It's a good collaborative effect, but for a 24-hour comic, this was very
Yeah.
entertaining.
Quick and dirty, if you will.
Right. What? Ivan Plascencia? Palencia?
Placencia?
There you go. See, I can't pronounce names.
No, I was making a placenta joke.
Oh.
Cold placenta sandwiches.
They're very good. Does Valley Farms have them?
No one should have those. There you go.
I think your girl Gwyneth Paltrow.
This is the
has
longest
those,
you
doesn't
haven't
she?
talked while still being near the mic.
Well, he has the talent after all. He's there to sit there and look pretty.
Usually he's up and out and something's going on, but he's just silent.
Well, yeah, he's supposed to look pretty.
He's getting eaten up inside.
Do you remember the scene where the father cauterized the
Yes.
son? Like,
And then he just leaves him there to
He
die.
still has a urethra.
and then he pees out of a hole just somewhere down in the area because he hadn't peed in 4 days.
That was so cute.
But he didn't have a stomach, so how did he generate urine?
Because they started laughing. Oh yeah, my stomach's
still
over
got
there.
kidneys.
Kidneys are responsible for the generation of urine.
Yeah, but
And
where
filtration.
is it going if there's no stomach?
Well, you still have ureters. Well, pee doesn't go into your stomach. Just
Yeah,
like
but all your liquid
it's not stored in the
does.
balls either.
Well, yes, but all the liquid has to go somewhere. It's just going to
Your
go.
bladder, which is below your stomach, right, which it was gone, but he still has ureters that the kidneys are connected to. Ureters connect to the bladder. Bladder connects to the urethra. Urethra connects to the peen.
He didn't have that either.
No, he did not. So it's probably coming out the basically, for all intents and purposes, a poor man's nephrostomy.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a tube. It bypasses. all
Welcome
that.
back.
It goes straight from the kidneys. But yeah, doesn't your girl Gwyneth Paltrow has that? You're a big fan of her, right? She's like your favorite actress in the MCU.
He's nodding his head. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, slightly above Brie Larson.
Yeah. I remember you saying that Charlize
I
Theron
like
was your
Brie
favorite.
Larson.
Why did the shark munch everything? It wasn't a
Munch,
bite.
munch, munch.
Well, he
always
also
a
licked.
lick.
He also licked.
Savor it.
He just munched it. Yeah. Oh yeah. He
He
licked
did,
the blood
he did
too.
lick. My favorite
Cinnamon
window.
bear ice cream.
Yeah, my favorite window was when he's fighting Sea Bear, and the kid goes, "Go, Sea Bear," and he turns, and goes, "What?" And then he just gets eaten by a shark. The bear's got this dumb look on his face, like, "Oh," and then he just gets annihilated.
The sharks drove the boat back to land.
Yes,
Yes.
He threw the
That
bear
was
off
what
and then just drove it
drove-
back with a big happy smile.
what was his name? John Bob, the guy with the broken neck that was punching the sharks.
Are these notes?
Yeah, I take notes when I read these.
All right, go shoot. Enlighten us.
No.
Carry this podcast. 'cause
No.
Robert's not talking.
No, it was simple things.
He looks so
like,
pretty when he's over there, though.
He's smiling a lot.
He does. He's prettier when he smiles.
I'd say this one's going pretty well. He leans into the mic and then moves away. Takes another sip of his beer. You might as well just go fill it up now. You're not talking. Yeah, there he
Actually-
goes. Actually,
While you're up.
What?
And going to the place where you belong. You might get top me off there. I'm sorry, man. You walked right into that.
He has no exit.
He's making an exit.
No, but sharks drowning, I thought that was
That
fun.
was pretty good too.
That whoa. Wait, why
Sharks
did they,
actually
Because
do
they can't go in the
drown
water.
if you flip them upside down. If you flip them upside down, there's actually a thing where if you touch them like from behind the gills
Probably just
and move the motion towards their
What's that
nose,
berry one?
it actually
That's what
it
I'm
actually
drinking.
kind of
Same.
paralyzes them, and then you can actually kind of just take them and just like take them and hold them, and just like completely.
Who's
move
doing
them.
this fucking research? Like, I don't want. I'm already
No,
at a loss
it actually
of a hand.
it messes with their electromagnetic currents, which they use to guide themselves through the ocean. And it's interesting. So the lemon shark, you can actually do that. So it's just interesting facts about the shark's nervous system because they do have to guide themselves through migrational routes.
Thanks.
Yeah, it just seemed like they touched water and started drowning in
Yeah.
here.
I'll go for the pills. Yeah, we'll go for that Burning Beard Pilsner, which is actually quite delicious, lightly malty and very good. Tonight is my cheat night, so I'm happy I'm spending it with Burning Beard.
What was that called? Do Hammer? Do Russell? The whatever this berry one was called. What was it?
I'll get you in a second.
Dunkle Runkle. That's good. It's like a wheat beer with a little mixed berry aftertaste there.
I still think we should hold Robert to doing one of these with live movie while watching like bad nerd movies
What?
with Monster Squad.
Well, I do have the Monster Squad drinking game. I think
We have this set up. Do you want to watch Monster Squad after and then record?
They have plans.
I can cancel if you're gonna watch Monster Squad.
I haven't committed.
Yeah, we can log into my Hulu and watch it right now.
It is. Oh, it is
Hill
on
new?
Hulu.
Yeah, and if not, I mean, they haven't seen Troll 2 either, but I don't think you have either.
Seen what?
Troll 2?
I don't think I saw Troll 1.
You don't have to see Troll 1 to see Troll 2. They're
That's
completely...
that's not the one that was in Iceland where they had the big trolls.
That's Troll Hunter. That's a real movie.
Troll Hunter was awesome.
Yeah,
James
that's,
Stoker did
that's
the
a
movie
that's a
poster
real
for that.
movie.
That was
This
fun.
is Troll 2 is so bad it's still bad, but it's awesome. It's like The Room.
I was just about to ask, like, The Room.
Oh yeah, oh it's so much fun to watch.
You guys can keep talking about the actual comic.
We can, yeah.
I'm trying to remember it, and I only read it like 4 hours ago.
I only got to the first issue,
You're the one with
but I
the
kind of
notes,
got
Katrina.
I got the gist of it.
You don't need our permission to speak.
I hate everybody.
That's fair.
But you didn't hate the book.
No, I didn't. It was a fun read. It was, simple as that. It was just fun. It
Yeah.
didn't have any sense. A zombie baby eating its parents and brothers and sisters.
Ate its guts to stay alive.
But would it really turn that way? Wouldn't it die? But anyways,
That's yeah.
the kid with the temper tantrum and the axe cutting up his dad's fingers after he cut up his hand. I thought that was funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, I don't want to.
Get an axe.
The whole
right.
family, they got their heads bit off except the baby.
Yeah.
Speaking of baby, that weird
It
fucking,
ate, the, it
that
ate
weird
its
fucking
heart.
zombie baby
Yeah.
that was eating his parents, and then it just got tossed into the shark for no apparent, just to get rid of it, just to try to slow it down.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. There was so much going on in that. I lost track of who died, who lived.
I think
Donnie-
essentially
Donnie-
everybody died except for
Donnie.
the kid and the baby. And
The
John
ba-
Bob.
I was gonna say John. Well, the baby died. No, it didn't. It ate
No,
the
it
heart.
didn't. It ate
You're
the
right.
heart.
It ate the heart.
Yeah,
That
it
was
killed
how
the shark
ended.
in the end.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Zombie baby to save the day.
Yeah.
I remember. This is gonna be a fun podcast to edit.
Yeah, it's gonna be some bullshit, is what it's gonna be.
You want some more dead
Yeah, you
silence
guys
in
are
there?
fucking gonna suck.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah,
Hey, tell us what you think.
I love the book. I love Ryan Ottley.
Yeah, it's pretty to look at. It's what you see is what you get.
When Invincible ended, I knew that whatever Ottley did next, I was gonna put on my pull list at SoCal Omics. You like that?
Oh, those are
SoCal
Amish comics.
Yeah, Amish Comics.
Nice.
SoCal Comics, but I didn't have to because Spider-Man was already on my pull list. So, and the beer is De Broek Berliner Weiss. Plus
Brücke.
mix-
Yeah,
plus
it's
mix
got the
beers.
umlaut.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this book. It made me laugh. There's not a lot of... I don't read a lot of comedy comics. Like, funny
You mean
comics.
comical?
I don't read a
comics?
lot of the funnies,
The funny pages.
The funny books.
the funny books. But this one definitely made me laugh a lot. It's a nice change of pace. It's a quick read because it's only 3 issues.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it took Brian like 97 minutes to read it. But
Short legs, slow reading speed. It all
Yeah.
just comes together.
yeah, but
You heard it here first, boys, girls.
I think that actually qualifies you for a handicap placard.
I think it's like 411. My friend Jackie has one.
Under
But
411.
she
Yeah.
can qualify, but she refuses to apply.
good. She shouldn't.
She legally gets it.
I know, but that's
Yeah, I also just we'll save this for off the mic, but
It's off mic talk.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is gonna be shit to edit. By the way,
Sorry.
you guys are killing me here.
Well, in that case, I'll just drop everything else.
No,
man.
no, don't. Please don't.
Time for me to take off my pants.
I refilled my beer.
You announced putting them on.
Well, yeah, it was really important. I was letting you guys know I was putting on pants and heading over.
I'm drinking.
Those are shorts.
They're pants to me. It takes effort. It takes effort to get dressed in the morning.
I'm drinking some more. Get thee to a monastery. You want me to pour you this De Broek? I got you for you. It's the rest of it. Just drink it out of the can.
Well, that's the Pilsner.
I know. Finish that.
Slam it. Come on.
Slam and salmon. You ever seen that?
Yeah. Not their best, but not their worst.
Meat drapes. I love when he's like, why doesn't it sound like that when I'm saying it? Meat drapes. Dude, if you're not watching Tacoma FD, watch it. It's great. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's got Farva and what Mac in it, right?
Yeah, but they changed the intro, and it really pissed me off. I almost want to say something about it. God damn it, Brian.
Yeah.
It's on one of those channels that's weird and nobody watches, right?
Well, it's True TV. So, yes and no.
What do you think of the Bruca?
Bruca.
The Bruca.
It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
But
But
clean.
yeah, are you only gonna drink the little beer? You're not gonna drink the big boy beer?
What big boy beer?
That's only 3.5%. The other ones are 7%.
I'll drink whatever you throw at me.
God, if we weren't at my house, I would have just fucking thrown a beer at you. I'd have to clean it up, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, I drink whatever you put in front of me. You know that.
Urine.
It's the same way you got me back to the hotel room in Vegas.
Dragging you while you were throwing your hands around and throwing shit into bushes?
Yeah, you slipped something into my drink, and I drank it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, challenge accepted.
He talked all night about wanting to fight Dracula. He's like, fuck that guy.
Please tell me you saw that Moon Knight thing I sent you.
No.
This is a panel comic.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
That was good.
Hey, Dracula, you big nerd. Where's my money?
Is there anything about Grizzly Shark you want to talk to before we talk about Outer Darkness?
I'm just surprised you took notes on Grizzly Shark.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not like notes. It's like things that jump out at me. So, like the way...
Like sharks out of bushes?
Yes. So, it's kind of like the way he dissects a body once the shark eats it. Like what he leaves left.
Like the lady's boobs.
Yeah. Or...
Half the face, but it's like convex.
Or even like the bikers. He like takes the point of like the actual bicyclists.
The Tour de France guys.
Yeah. He takes like 2 different panels to like show them getting eaten. It's just fun. It just kind of shows his dissection of the body.
The dude with no hands.
There was the one too with the shark coming towards the panel, and then it bit off the guy's arm, and then the other guy's face, and then the other guy with the face was gone, and then the other guy was gone. Yeah, I see that. It's very creative.
It's just kind of like he's taking his time and choosing what he's taking away from the panel. I thought that was fun.
I like some of the reasons people got. Like, there was the one girl on her period.
Yeah.
There was the one guy that punched his wife.
What about the paper cut while rock climbing?
Yeah. I got a paper cut on these rocks.
Yeah, munch.
The Boy Scouts. There was a lot of good ones.
Oh, yeah. I got to pee, guys.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of good ones of that.
That's right. Yeah, the guy punched his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you don't see the domestic violence. You just see the aftermath of it, and they get eaten, both of them.
But the next book we're reading is Outer Darkness by John Layman and Afu Chan. Is that his name? Afu? I'm looking at you, Matt.
No.
Who are they?
I was only introduced to this guy's work when I read the book last night, and I was like, this guy's actually got some good stuff.
Yeah. Layman I most know from Chew.
Yeah.
I don't know Layman from Chew.
I jumped in on Chew pretty early. I didn't finish it.
I read the first arc. I think is the first.
I
6
read that
issues.
book from issue 1 till issue 60, month by month by month. That was actually the first Image Comics book that I was actually reading actively, because I was always kind of a Marvel zombie. I'm like, maybe I should actually get a Image book in the single issue. So I kind of just like, I'll pick one at random. And I picked up Chew. And next thing I know, it's like a $900 book after like 2 months. I'm like, wait, what? And because it just ended up becoming one of those hit books. I mean, I thought it was really funny.
It was.
It was a cool little book.
And it's a great story. And I think it had a really
How many issues
satisfying...
did it have?
60.
60?
Yeah,
I think
Layman
I ended
always
at 50.
in
Really?
supplemental material. He always said this is going to be a 60-issue story, and he's like 60 issue 60. He would even do like sneak previews to like scenes from issue 60, like halfway through the story, which actually did appear in issue 60, which actually is good for Rob Guillory because he saved on drawing those pages because they had already appeared in previous books.
I like Gilroy. He's a really nice guy. Like, I've talked to him a handful of times. So is Layman. Layman's a little out there though, man. He's a little crazy.
Out there, Hal.
Obviously.
What? He's Outer Darkness there. Outer Darkness.
Out there, Hal.
He's just a little strange. And nothing wrong with that. He just comes off a little bizarre. But I'll read the synopsis for y'all.
Y'all?
I use guys as like a generalization, like, hey guys, have a nice day, or hey. And one time somebody, it was a group of women. I was like, hey guys, have a nice day, and they're like, we're not guys, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I started saying, y'all have a nice day.
I will vehemently defend that dudes is completely neutral.
Yeah.
Especially in California, it is part of the colloquialism out here.
All right, so here we go. You ready? And this is an active book. The trade just came out this month.
Yeah, you big jerk.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Why am I a big jerk?
You got me hooked on a book now that's a monthly. That another thing I have to add to my
Yeah,
pull
I hadn't
list.
even heard of this book, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's sci-fi and horror collide in the new series from the co-creator of Chew. Mankind has colonized the galaxy, but during our interstellar travels, we discovered a terrifying secret out in the outer darkness of space. Join Captain Joshua Rigg and the crew of the starship Charon. Karen? Fucking Karen. As they encounter
the ferryman across the river Styx. Come on, man.
Okay. As they encounter demonic possessions, hauntings, cosmic horror, and more. All-star writer John Layman from Chew and artist Afu Chan, Immortal Iron Fist, there you go, are ready to let you know that outer space is terrifying. Proceed to conversation part.
I would argue that this is Star Trek meets Lovecraft.
That's very accurate.
I know. You're welcome.
And I really enjoyed the story. It's definitely not something I've seen before, nor that I think would ever see, because when you go into space travel, it's all about aliens, but you never think about alien ghosts or alien demons. I mean, these are living creatures too. They have their macabre, they have their supernatural. So for a show that finally explores that's awesome. It's always just living creatures, but never their souls and never their hells.
Chasing souls. Like, it's not only just them out there. They're tracking these souls down and re-imprinting them.
Well, yeah, everything with the aliens is normalized. Even when it comes to the supernatural. I mean, they have a Sumerian deity running their engine right now.
I thought that that was one of the coolest things that hit me in the book, was that basically, their engines are gods. It's kind of a cool. Well, they called it a god engine too.
Engine.
Yeah.
So this reminds me of a lot of high fantasy and a lot of Cthulhu kind of Lovecraftian horror, because in a lot of fantasy too, when they talk about space and the outer planes, they talk about a lot of weird shit from beyond the veil, not really space aliens like the ancient aliens that we all think of, the little gray men.
I think of the big guys from The Fifth Element.
Specifically those guys?
Yeah.
The ones that little waddle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The all-powerful beings that looked like they could be
turtles.
Warhammer 40K start of some Space Marines.
Sure.
They had the big shoulders, the big feet.
Big feet.
We don't know what they really look like. Anyways, Outer Darkness.
I thought they all looked like Mila Jovovich, because wasn't she cloned out of the remains of one of them?
Oh, yeah, she was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's kind of thing. Mobius was actually a very good designer. I mean, he was a phenomenal work. I remember that was the first... That was a great movie for me, because it was a PG-13 movie that I was allowed to see on a school night.
Had boobs in it.
And had boobs in it.
Did it?
Yeah.
And I was 10 when I saw that.
There were no boobs in that movie.
Yep.
There's, you saw
Beginning and
side
the
boob
end.
Mila Jovovich when they reincarnated her body. And
Before they put the
tape
bandages on.
Do those qualify as...
That's side boob, yeah. And then you see him when she's making out with Bruce Willis at the end.
That has one of my favorite lines in any movie. I am a meat popsicle.
Yeah, I use that quite a bit.
No, I really got... Like you said, Star Trek meets Lovecraft, which is a better tagline than I put. I put Space Exorcist.
Yeah, well, I mean, that too. I mean, in a way, too, it's a lot like the lore behind 40K. You have, civilizations advanced to this point, but they're dealing with demons and
Ancient
hordes
stuff.
and ancient shit. Yeah.
It was...
Or the and to deal with the other different types of supernatural, you had not just exorcists, but you had the mathematicians that were doing things on the quantum level of things.
You had mathematicians, you had morticians.
Yep.
You had all kinds of stuff in these ships. It was a really cool, just like Matt said, something I've never seen before.
And you get that Ahab with Captain Riggs, kind of the Ahab feeling,
and he
then,
hates cats, which I'm all about.
and Queequeg and his buddy.
Queequeg?
You know
the
Moby Dick.
tattooed up native. He was Aboriginal, right?
Yeah, he was a something.
Yeah, he was like from Australia. He would have his body covered in tattoos and just was all about the spear and saying like, he's like, only a coffin will save your life. And so you do see that echoed in Riggs's partner.
Yeah. Also, what about that admiral?
Agway. Which admiral?
The admiral that comes up and has a drink with him at a bar. How fucking supreme did he look?
He looked pretty good.
Yeah. They got fancy dress uniforms.
He kind of looks like he had a beard with a mustache, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
The
kind of
Indian looking guy.
Yeah, he looks
the
like
Sikh,
our vet, like our dog's vet. That's what he looks like. It's cool. He has like a white beard but a black mustache.
So that chick that he saves from being sacrificed to the God Engine. There's one thing I wanted to point out, and it's really weird, and this question was in the back of my head. He had her demoted from corporal to ensign after he saved her, right, and put her on house arrest. Corporal is an NCO rank. That's non-commissioned officer, while ensign is the lowest officer rank. So technically,
He promoted her.
he promoted her if we're going by conventional ranks that we use here, which is usually the basis for a lot of those fictional space. And we have no idea how the Space Force is going to set up their ranking system.
I apologize if you hear my dog snoring. She's snoring.
Oh, I thought you were apologizing for the Space
Don't worry,
Force. I was like,
our audience is snoring right now.
Hey,
Oh.
that hurts. No, dude, I edit the shit out of this and it makes it sound amazing. I enjoyed it. Like it kind of caught me off guard. I will be honest. It probably took me 2 issues to kind of get rolling. This is
Oh, you mean you didn't exactly love it after one issue?
no, but I read 5 issues.
Wait,
You can't say there was a pacing issue in season 2 when you didn't watch season 2. Okay, Alan? Do we have to go back to this? Everybody else get off
do you
mic.
do you feel
Alan
like
and I are going to yell at each other
do you feel like you read enough issues to say that whether or not it was good or bad?
for those 5 issues?
Is it a series you would continue?
Yeah. I don't know if
Then it means it's good.
I don't know if I'd put it on my pull list though. I'd probably get the trades.
Okay.
I don't think it's a month-to-month book for me, but it would definitely be a one that I'd like to read in chunks, because if I were to read the first issue of this or 2 issues of this, I might have stopped reading it. You like that?
No. You might have stopped reading it because
It wasn't going fast enough for him.
Because there were pacing issues.
there were pacing issues in it early on?
Yeah.
You mean there's pacing issues in issues you haven't read?
I don't know because I hadn't read them yet. I don't judge things I don't know, Alan. Mm-hmm. I don't. You could judge what you know.
You could still have a taste, and you could still say, I do not like this, because your ratings are
I-
always subjective.
I understand that. I'm not arguing with that. Everybody go away. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying I can't say that the entirety of something is bad if I haven't watched it. I just can't. I was going to go somewhere else, but
You
I'm not
could
gonna
always
go there.
not watch the final season of Game of Thrones and still think it's good.
There you go. I actually like the last season. But I like everything. So
Both are also true, yes. I liked it, too.
and you
For
hate
what-
everything.
For what it's worth, yeah, I liked it, yeah.
But no, it did take a couple issues to get rolling for me, and I'm glad I read the trade. I think it is a book that I'd rather read in 5 issues at a time than single issues.
I feel I'd rather read most books as a trade than single issues, but sometimes you can't wait, sometimes you can.
Well, I think sometimes you also...
Depends on the publisher, because
They can be more sporadic than month to month.
yeah, Marvel's quicker at popping out the trades after an arc finishes rather than like some of the smaller publishers that don't have that kind of weight or money to...
I don't think... That doesn't always depend on publisher also. It could depend on artist as well. They can really slow down a book. Writers can slow down a book. I mean, it just depends
Well, no,
on...
I mean, when you finish an arc, usually that's what the next trade is going to be, and then the delay between when that arc finishes and when the trade is out.
There is something about like watching a show week to week and reading a book month to month where you do get those cliffhangers where you're like, oh, fuck, I can't wait till the next one.
Yeah.
And there's something that makes it that much sweeter when you get to that next one and you find out what happens. My opinion, but...
Yes, but the cliffhanger can be overused.
It can be.
And I feel in comics is where it's probably overused the most. Not everything has to be a cliffhanger.
No. You read the book most recently, Brian. What'd you think?
Yeah, like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, do you remember anything from it?
Yeah, I remember that I didn't really know what was happening until the last issue. That was the only one I could really follow. Like
Really?
It bounced around a lot. So
I don't think it bounced around at all.
in my mind, it bounced around a lot.
It was.
But I was also distracted by a game and food.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was a singular focus. It was about this one captain and this one ship. Well, I guess it did go down to the planet when those two people what was the guy who
Ensign
died?
and then the Chan.
Yeah, Chan,
Or
who's died 7 times.
Sato Shin.
Shin, yeah,
Shin.
right, Shin. And his little
He looks like a sweet Oni demon now. That's pretty awesome.
the artwork's cool. The color is really good.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
I like the gore.
What? Slamming of doors?
you guys, I'm gonna edit the
Why are you mad at me?
Nobody else is talking but Alan and I.
All right. I'll
The
talk,
testing on the hands-on test that he made him do, I thought was pretty cool. Instead of like the
Oh,
Marines
to find
did-
out who's going to be a mutineer and who isn't.
Well, no, not even that. Well, that was part of it, but he just wanted to see what they could do. He obviously hadn't been on a ship ship in quite some time. So, putting them straight to a test instead of just saying, "Oh, what's your plan?" I like that. It was different.
I like the navigator. He couldn't remember the fucking navigator's name.
And he's some god. He's used to being a.
Elox.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really enjoyed the setup they did with a lot of these characters along the way, especially having like a guy who used to be a god who looks to reascend to that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, I used to be a god. My people used to bow before me and offer me sacrifices.
And they got rid of me because they hated me.
My own son deposed me, and you found me, and now I have to live a life of just being an ordinary Joe.
Well, it's not only that. They killed him and sent his soul out. And then they randomly just picked that guy up out
Yeah,
of
they
nowhere
exorcised him, found
and
him.
put him in and put him on a body,
Yeah.
not knowing who he was.
Or the Oracle on the ship having like the Melisandre syndrome. She gets like
Oh.
all hot. And then for whatever reason then just goes between what's her name? The crone?
Who can't like cats after that, Rob?
Everybody.
I hate cats.
I'm not a fan of cats. I don't kick them or anything.
She obviously
but I
doesn't need the cat.
No.
She said it was her familiar.
Well, it's a familiar or a focus, right? So who knows how spellcasting works in this world?
I don't.
Nobody knows yet, I'm sure.
Are there only 5 issues? Like out?
6.
Uh,
Issue 7 comes out next Wednesday.
okay.
I researched that before.
So
coming
you've done
in.
your homework.
Yeah.
What?
What's on your notes?
Let's see here. The Grateful Dead monsters in the beginning. I thought that was pretty weird looking. What the hell is that?
Wait, Grateful Dead, was that in the first issue?
And the first like couple of panels, there was like these like monsters flying around where I guess they're spirits.
Yeah,
With,
there's some
like-
pretty creepy monsters there.
Hair.
I think that's screaming in the background right now. Those are the monsters we saw in outer
Yeah,
space.
I guess so.
Wait,
Got
was this
sound
before the
effects.
mutiny or after the mutiny?
It was before he even got on the ship. It was after he dumped the cargo and was going to be put in prison, and he was running from his fate like any rogue does.
I'm
I'm
looking through the first few pages right now. Are you talking about the members of the first ship that he was on that get possessed?
No, like they get into that swarm of spirits and they go to dump the cargo because they have to get out of there. They're these big skulls with like hair.
Yeah, they have
No?
hair. They're flying through the air. They
Yeah.
like puke stuff, and they got multiple eyeballs.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's later on when he's running the test with the crew, right?
No,
Yeah, because I'm not seeing that in the first few pages.
it's at the very beginning.
I feel like I'm in a minority of the population of the world that hates cats, and so when I
Talk
see
about
a,
these.
No.
when I see a character that I can associate with that hates cats, it makes me happy.
So you hate Black Cat?
No, I just hate cats.
Okay.
Oh, you mean like the Spider-Man character?
Yeah.
No.
All right, find the page because I have no clue what you're talking about.
Alan doesn't know something.
Yeah,
So stupid.
It's like the third page.
Hand it to Brian. Just sits there. This is gonna be interesting to edit.
wait, I'm failing to see the Grateful Dead reference in here.
Don't they call it that? I mean, it's not. I don't think she's saying like Grateful Dead as in like the band. I think they call it the.
They called it a necrostorm.
I don't know.
But
You can tell this is a Layman book. It is a little out there. It's different. Like Chew was. I mean, how different was Chew when it came along?
Chew was a very kind of different because you really did not have anything like that on the stands. That was, first off, for a comedic book. And fun fact about Chew is actually it was declined from Vertigo. They actually turned down the pitch.
Wow.
I feel like they fucking say yes to everything sometimes.
Yeah, I mean they. For some reason, it just did not fit the build. I mean, I probably would assume because it was taking a more comedic tone instead of a darker tone on things.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, they don't have anything lighthearted on their imprint.
2 more weeks, they probably won't even have an imprint.
Really?
They haven't since the resurgence. They haven't put out anything I've wanted to read.
Wow.
Nothing.
You know something?
It's not exactly looking. After 26 years of Vertigo, it's like there are some rumors that the imprint will probably shut down.
Wow.
What do they have running right now? Every book has either been canceled or it's Lucifer.
Yeah, I mean there are some ones that are coming out. I mean there are some Neil Gaiman Sandman ones, and there is a Lucifer one, but there are some other ones along the way that were a little problematic. Like they were coming out with this one called Borderland, I think, and then that was done.
Oh, Bordertown, yeah.
Bordertown, but then there were some claims against the writer that derailed it, and they got canceled fairly quickly. So
did he do something with it was alleged to doing something with a kid or something, wasn't it?
I really don't know the details, but the book is no longer there, and there were some other ones, and I mean pretty much like along the way of it came out about with the restructuring of DC Comics around 2011. They merged in a lot of things. They merged Vertigo and Wildstorm into the DC proper, and then
I never thought I'd see the day
what I read on an article on Bleeding Cool is that the Warner Brothers executives wondered why more properties were not actually being why they weren't getting more television and film properties out of Vertigo franchises, and they said, well, it's because these are creator-owned properties, and they said, okay, let's just restructure it so they're no longer really creator-owned. And so the thing is, if it's no longer a creator-owned, and if it's going to be a corporate-owned, that's not you're losing the incentive to do the book under your terms. So there was this major gravitation to Vertigo in the time since, and I know this became problematic with Karen Berger and then Shelley Bond, and they ended up leaving the company and starting their own imprints. Karen Berger doing Berger books at Dark Horse, and Shelley Bond doing Black Crown at IDW, kind of just carrying on the spirit of Vertigo books over there. So yeah, that's the
what's on Black Crown right now. The only thing I can think of is Punk's Not Dead, and I stopped reading after an issue.
I'm not really too familiar with
because I didn't like it after the first issue.
I haven't really read too much from that imprint, so the names aren't really recalling much for me.
I didn't like Lost after the first episode. But I'm not judging the whole series. I'm just judging what I saw. Alan smirked at me.
It's supposed to. It's supposed to hook you in to make you want more. If you don't want to see it after the first episode, that means you don't like it. Admit that you don't like something.
I don't like Lost,
yes,
but I can't
like
judge the whole series. You can't judge a book you haven't read.
You're not judging it when you say this does not appeal to me.
I'm not
That's
saying
not a judgment.
That, but I can't say that the series is bad because I didn't watch it.
No. Yes, you can.
I've never watched Friends, and I know that's bad.
Thank you.
But I don't agree with your statement. So and we can have this conversation every week that you're on, and I'm not gonna agree with it. That's fine. We don't have to agree with everything.
I never watched Young Sheldon. I don't have to know that's bad.
Sometimes pandering is pandering, and that's definitely pandering.
Yeah. But I can't say that it's bad because I haven't watched it. I don't.
Do you want to turn it on TV right now? Let's see how much
it's on 100%. I refuse to judge things that I haven't seen.
But when saying you don't like something or you do like something is a judgment, and it's okay to judge something.
But I haven't seen Young Sheldon. I can't say it's bad if I hadn't seen it.
Because you're an adult man. You know what you like and you know what you don't like.
And as an adult man,
and as part of being an adult, you should be able to say with confidence, I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and I know I'm not going to like this.
But saying something's not for you isn't saying it's bad either.
It is, in a way.
No, because I'm not the end all be all on the universe.
Nobody says you are.
Yeah, but I
You're not.
what if
I mean,
I am?
technically, we're
Saying something's-
we're all insignificant.
saying something's not,
not.
for me and saying something
I have confidence in who I am.
saying something's not for me
And I'm very
saying
proud of the
something's
fact that
bad.
I've never watched Young Sheldon.
saying something's
I don't
bad.
even want to watch Old Sheldon. I don't like canned laughter.
It's hard to ignore
Is that
once you
the
hear it.
is that the only show that still uses canned laughter? Oh, it's off the air finally, right?
Yeah, it ended a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I didn't
Thank
watch.
God.
I didn't watch the last 3 or 4 seasons.
I don't want to watch any of that. But my main reason for just watching it is just like I don't watch it. The reason I don't watch it is because it's just not funny. So people are like, haha, you'll like it because it's making fun of nerd stuff. There's like reference, canned laughter. It's not funny. It's just making references. It needs to be actual jokes. It needs to have humor. And
That's kind of what happened when they brought back Family Guy after the second time it was canceled.
no, was Family Guy before they canceled it was the funniest show on TV. But then they just fell into this formula with the cutaway scene.
reference.
So, and of course, South Park got it down to the wire. They nailed it. Just saying, it's like, it's doing this. I'm like, wow, South Park really called out Modern Family. And you notice, old Family Guy doesn't do that. It was actually just very spontaneous and very, just relevant to what was going on in the storyline. But then
Story instead of this is like that one time I did this with this and this.
yeah, and the cutaway scenes just ended up kind of just derailing the show.
Yeah, I mean, they used to have a coherent plot at one point.
I
Hell, even The Simpsons started doing that too. The last seasons, like 28 and 29. Surprisingly, season 30 was not bad.
But back to this real quick, and then we'll get back to Outer Darkness, and then we'll end this. But
Yeah.
I don't think saying something's not for you and saying something is bad is the same thing. Because something could be good. I could not like Shawshank Redemption because it's not for me, but it's still a good movie.
Well, then you might like The Count of Monte Cristo. It's a little more intellectual version of it.
What, the actual movie or the book?
No, it's basically the same story verbatim.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
I mean, there was a scene where in the library he actually does have out the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, you're right. Dumbass.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
But no, I think the point I'm trying to make is by you saying you don't like something, you're saying that it's bad. You're already, and when you say something is bad, that's not the objective truth. That's assumed that's your opinion.
Yes.
Nobody.
Okay, how about this, Brenda?
We're saying part of
Who
the
wants
same...
to watch the new HBO Watchmen series?
I do.
I'm lukewarm. I don't know what. All I've seen is a 30
gotta see what's
second
going
I
on.
saw it trailer. I was like, wait, what is this? It just looks so like,
Is this?
But it's not Watchmen. It's Doomsday, right?
Is it based off Doomsday Clock?
yeah, like, and I'm just like,
All I know is Alan Moore is rolling over in his grave, even though he's still alive.
he's still alive. He'll just go into the grave and then kind of just spin in it.
No, that guy.
It's crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In like a fun way. Like he's like a modern Rasputin.
I don't think he'd be fun to be around.
I don't know. I think he might be. You
I've
get
heard a lot of good Alan Moore stories from people who've worked with him over the years.
Oh, I bet you he's like batshit crazy, right? Or is it all an act?
He's got his ways.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you ever read Neonomicon?
I did.
I did not.
You haven't lived until you've seen a fish man get a hand job. It's very weird.
Was he on the toilet?
I liked that story, but it's like, and I like how it
shh.
actually plays into the first panel of the story, and I'm like, okay.
I read a story about a sex worker getting carpal tunnel. Is it similar?
Oh my god! I think didn't she get like some sort of like powers?
No.
Some sort of super hooker
No.
kind of thing. There's some sort of like
It's a
superpowered
one-shot
hooker.
like short story,
Uh,
and it gets weird.
What's that one shot from Chuck Palahniuk? That short story.
Guts.
Guts. You ever read Guts?
I have not.
so wait,
You ever read Guts?
You tried to get me to read it. and I
carpal
didn't.
tunnel. That's a lot of handies.
Don't read- did
Does
you
she
read it,
not
Jim?
do other stuff? That raises a lot of questions.
No, she did, but she got carpal tunnel basically from her day-to-day job, so she couldn't do that anymore. So she
Oh,
worked the front
okay.
desk.
If you heard us talk about Outer Darkness and you think it is something that you would like to, obviously Alan said he likes it. He wants to keep reading it. Matt said he liked it. Brian said he couldn't follow it. Katrina and I like it. Yeah.
No, I really liked it. It's kind of like a rogue out in space trying to find some kind of soul he wants to imprint. That's what I got out of it. He's searching a soul.
Searching for souls, demons, all that
Well,
sort
he's
of junk.
searching for a particular soul.
Yeah. You ever see the Kane Mutiny? Got
Nope.
a little bit of that going on there too.
No.
It's a good movie. It's got Bogart in it. And the dad from Flubber.
You mean
Fred
Robin
McMurray.
Williams? I
Okay.
really don't know anyone except Robin.
Oh, no, you
Williams.
Shooter McGavin? Is that the dad?
No.
Is that him? I thought he was in that
This is
movie.
made in like the 50s.
Wait, the old flubber?
Yeah.
Oh, not the Robin Williams.
Jerry,
Yeah.
Who is that? Jerry Lewis?
No, it's Fred McMurray.
I thought there was a.
No, Jerry
that
Lewis
was Nutty
made Flubber.
Professor.
Nutty Professor.
But I thought the book was pretty good. Like I said, it took me a little bit to get going. But if you are interested in reading the book, the guys over at Skybound and girls, y'all at Skybound, have hooked us up. If you go over to skybound.com and you want to buy the first trade, use the coupon code OUTER 9 to 5. That's OUTER 9, the number 9, 2 as in TO, and 5, and you'll get 20% off the first volume.
Wow, that sounds like our friends over at Skybound are really hooking us up. And our viewers.
And there are
Slash listeners.
There are some very good, very generous folks. So make sure you get Skybound.
Yeah, Skybound.
What are some of their titles that you enjoy?
Manifest Destiny is really good. Birthright's really good. You can go back and read Invincible, Matt. That's really good. They've
got this little known one called Walking Dead.
Yeah, I need to catch up on.
I think Redneck is under that too.
It is. Redneck is a Skybound book. Redneck is great.
Just came back too.
Falcon.
Murder Falcon is on there.
Murder Falcon's over.
Is it? The
Yeah,
last
it's
issue?
a,
just came?
yeah, it's a limited run.
Yeah, he does. That's all he's going to do is
Yeah.
limited runs, which is kind of cool.
Which is
He
fair.
can do self-contained stories, and he doesn't have to draw them out.
Yeah, I liked Murder Falcon. I just wasn't a fan of the other one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Katrina takes more offense to that than I do.
It's really good.
It seemed alright. It just didn't suck me in.
I could read 100 issues of Extremity. I think that the groundwork was laid for a really, really cool world with really cool factions in it, and how the world went up instead of out. And, the higher you went, the more money was there, but these smaller tribes were banding together to overthrow. I mean, it's not an unheard of story, but It was just cool that the way it kind of worked out, and the brutality of that was like, it was on a different level.
Oh, it was pretty to look at.
Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork is,
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
man, I don't know how that guy does commissions. He fits so much. And have you ever seen any of his commissions, Matt?
I have not.
We talked about
I've
this
not
on the
seen his
first
commissioned work.
First Books and Brews, and you pulled up the
Spider-Man one?
The Spider-Man
He
one,
did
yeah.
another Spider-Man one where it's a full New York scene, and it's just Spider-Man in the upper right-hand corner swinging through two buildings, but the rest of it is just a full-on New York scene, and it's just, the guy's something else.
That's pretty cray-cray.
Yeah. But, no, I liked Outer Darkness. I liked that the guy didn't like cats. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too.
So, what exactly is Outer Darkness referring to now?
So the outer darkness is where in space all the souls are retreating to. That's what I read or that's what I got out of the trade. Is so they're all going into the outer darkness because they're all traveling out. And I guess did you guys talk about the guarantee and the insurance that they put out on these people?
That was kind of cool.
So if you die and you're guaranteed, they got to go find you. And if they do find you, they got to re-imprint you and bring you back. That's your guarantee with whatever.
It's like an extra life?
Coalition. Yeah.
Yeah,
that one
exactly.
guy,
Exactly
got,
like that.
That guy
Oh.
was reborn basically 7 times. And each time he came back, he was a little
But
bit
that was the big
crazier.
deal because he doesn't have insurance. He was uninsured. So that's where
Yeah.
the first officer started making a little sassiness with the administrator.
Well, that's when they started talking about him being attached to the ship.
Because that was the big deal about the first officer going and finding that guy who was guaranteed, and they disobeyed
in.
orders.
Yeah,
That was his original mission, right? The retrieval.
No, his
No?
retrieval is something else.
They still haven't even made
They
it out
haven't
there.
even
That's out
made
in the
it.
Sagittarius sector.
Ah, okay.
So when they came across this guy that was guaranteed, they were going to take a side mission to get this guy on the ship because he's guaranteed by the coalition.
Okay.
So what I gathered from the storyline is that the outer darkness is where these souls are traveling out to,
Kind of like a Star Trek V kind of where
and that's where
space heaven.
they're heading towards
What's out there?
the outer darkness.
But what's the
For me,
is
it was-
that, banishment.
No, it's like almost like this great unknown. So the farthest reach of space, from what I understand, is that Sagittarius sector where they're having that war with what race was it? The Drek.
Ugh,
The
I don't know.
Dreks. I don't know. Some aliens, some sort of bug-looking aliens. Would you like to know more?
For the war.
Yeah. So there's a big war effort out there. They're supposed to find somebody out there who's important to the war effort that's been going on for, sounds like, at least 200 years. And the outer darkness is beyond that, which is uncharted. because space is an infinite expanse.
Which is why they have these mathematicians finding the paths that these souls are taking to go locate them and bring them back and imprint them. Yeah. So they're using all these different factions,
and that's why it's so easy to
mission.
keep resurrecting that guy, because for whatever reason his soul is just so close to the ship that they can just get him back, and that's why they think he's bound to the ship.
Got it.
So it's kind of like an afterlife type of thing. So
almost, yeah. And
you go to the outer darkness. You don't go to heaven or hell. You go to the outer darkness.
I would say, how he said Star Trek meets Lovecraft, and I think the other part of it is Event Horizon. You ever see that movie?
No.
Okay, so long story.
Yes. Robert says yes.
It's a great fucking movie if you haven't seen it. And it's probably one of the true scariest movies I've actually seen that actually gets you kind of like, ooh, there's some actual good horror to it. But the long story short is they find the way in this world they develop a faster than light engine. It basically rips a hole in this dimension, creates like a pocket dimension, and basically shortcuts through hell. And that's how it's able to travel faster than light, and it brings back a piece of hell with it.
Okay.
And a lot of the horror and the things that happen in that with the possession and stuff is a lot like how it breaks down in Event Horizon. It's really good. It's got Dinosaur Bob from Jurassic Park, Sam Neill. Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne. Some British people.
I'm drinking Brutality, which is a brute IPA.
What'd you pour me?
I poured you the Get Thee to a Monastery.
Did you slip a Mickey Finn in it for me?
No. But this brute IPA is something I want you to try.
Okay, I will. Right now? Or okay. No, but to end it off, I guess, I thought it was very fitting that he referred to being a worthless servant. Because technically that's what rogues are. They end up serving, but they're worthless on one side because they're for themselves and for their own mission. And he's obviously not on that ship to help them. He's doing something else for himself. Mm-hmm. As they all are, even though they're cooking.
Everyone has their own agenda here, so everyone's got their story.
Right.
And so that's going to cause some conflict in the later on stages.
All men must serve, man.
All men must die.
How you like that beer, Matt?
It's quite good. I'm not an IPA guy, but it doesn't taste like an IPA.
I'm not a big IPA guy either, and she suggested this, and I tried it, and it's really good. I'm not the kind of guy that says it has a blah, 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 blah aftertaste, but it does have a...
tastes like pine cones.
It does have a pine cone aftertaste.
He hasn't had this one.
I enjoy pine cones.
The taste or the spike?
Pine cones have a pacing issue. That's going to be the name of the episode.
You son of a bitch.
It's got a... I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to sound pretentious at all, but it does have a floral aftertaste.
Oh, God. You're one
That's
of those people
about the most
now.
pretentious things you could say, but it does have a floral after. I couldn't taste
Oh my
it.
God.
I was thinking a pine cone, but it's not quite pine cone. It's floral.
Floral. It's got a nice bouquet to it.
You can sign it off.
I think Robert's brain is
Would you
done.
pour me get thee to a nunnery?
Get thee to a monastery.
Monastery.
You like it?
Monastery.
It's all right.
So that's a no.
I'm lukewarm. I just had a sip. I can't judge it until I finish it, apparently.
Though I hated that fucking Kung Fu Jesus book.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. Yeah.
Was that the one that Joe Casey did that
I-
Fox News railed on?
I liked it.
Wait, what?
Yes, it was a very big uproar about that book coming out, and they wanted to stop it from getting
Yeah, it's like
released.
Fox News put up a big stir about it, and this is like the
It was like very pro-Jesus.
Yeah, but it's just it was still a big thing. And keep in mind, the next week I was having Joe Casey at Comic Fest.
It wasn't a white Jesus, so they didn't want it.
Yeah, so Fox News all of a sudden is railing against a creator that I had at Comic Fest, and I'm like, you know what? I was just saying, come to San Diego Comic Fest, meet Public Enemy #1. Of course, Public Enemy #1 didn't last long. There was another guy at Fest.
Well,
who,
I think
kinda
Public
took
Enemy
away that
#1
title.
for Fox News is Nancy Pelosi, right?
What happened?
Probably, yeah.
No, I thought it was Obama.
It changes every 2 seconds.
You're
Oh,
right.
no,
so-
actually, Hillary. Well, I don't know.
It might be tied between
They're the
Obama and
trifecta
Hillary.
of evil.
It
Well,
was
you
7
need
out
to
of the 8
stop
spelling bee
Hillary
champions a few days
before,
ago.
otherwise she'll make you Pokemon Go
To the polls?
to the polls. Your pause wasn't long enough.
I'll delete my.
Wait. Did she use Pokemon Go to
She
manipulate
was waiting
votes?
for the laughter that
Yes.
did not come.
She manipulated voters with Pokemon Go. She made people
Ugh.
Pokemon Go
Ugh.
to the polls.
Because it worked so well.
My favorite picture of her the whole election season was like the first time she'd ever seen balloons. Like when they let the balloons down and she's like,
Oh, Hillary?
yeah.
Yeah, that was
No,
not
there was that
flattering.
time when she was like dabbing and she's like... You can't see it, but you could feel the cringe.
What's that?
of it.
What's that meme? Is it Theresa May who like have this meme where she's like walking out all cool, and it's like you're supposed to be like someone who's like sneaking out and being uncool at the same time.
I have
Yeah,
no
it's like
idea.
that's me pulling off my Brexit.
No, I'll send you a meme. It's I don't know what format
Her
it
in the
is, but I
blue
love it.
blue pantsuit.
Yeah, she's like sneaking on stage. And she looks like she's sneaking. Is it Theresa May?
Yeah, it's Theresa May.
Okay.
So good beer, good food, good comics.
Yeah, good food, good beer,
Good comics?
good comics. Yeah,
I figured Grizzly Shark was right up your alley.
it was. It was a fun little jaunt.
I have another question. So at the end, I don't remember the end. Maybe it might have been part 4, where the guy was carving like little crosses into his body. What was that?
Those were just runes of whatever demonic
Yeah.
language that was.
Right, he got brought back with.
Yeah, he was.
Because they were going through their
There's
psych
a
testing.
hitchhiker on his soul.
Yeah. That's why he went through the debriefing. They were trying to see if there was any corruption in his brain and in his psyche, and he passed.
Okay.
But he actually, because you know, one of the panels was her like curled up in a ball.
Yes.
Okay, so they were looking for triggers of something else going on within him that from him being reprinted,
Okay.
and he didn't exhibit any symptoms. So that's why she said, "Oh, maybe you should talk to so and so because she's having a really hard time."
Mm-hmm.
So when he goes back to his room, the way that he releases that energy, he starts putting on all these souls, and that's when he goes all the ruins, and he goes and releases the soul, and he kills those people that are watching over that one guy.
Is that on the other planet?
Where they crash landed.
Yeah.
And then,
Right. So
Yeah.
when they disobey the order to go get the guy that was cryogenically frozen,
Okay.
because the one guy didn't want to stop because he felt something bad was going to happen, Riggs.
Yes.
That's his name.
And then the other
Joshua
guy was
Riggs?
like, "I noticed that you changed course." That part.
No, the navigator told Riggs that they changed course.
Okay.
But Riggs didn't give him an order to change course because the first officer had given the orders to do it.
Okay.
And there were nice little horror nods. Like, one of the names he couldn't remember, he kept calling the navigator Ulrox. So,
So he would always say his name before he would say anything.
yeah. But Ulrox was a nice little nod to Castlevania, which is a reference to Count Orlok, the vampire in Nosferatu.
Yeah, I
Little
don't
things
know
like
those
that were
things.
hidden in there.
That's interesting.
Well, like the name of the ship, Charon, is the ferryman on the River Styx that the dead would pay money to be taken to the underworld.
Okay. Intricate. I like it.
Yeah.
If I was more in what's the word? Not invested.
Yeah,
Informed, educated.
I
On
wouldn't
that,
say,
I'd probably
I
get
wouldn't say
more
it's
of
a formal education. It's just I watch shit and I remember shit. I read shit and I remember shit.
I do not. I enjoy things in the moment and I forget them immediately afterwards.
That's what happened because I'm trying to remember everything that I read 2 hours ago, and I remember the last part.
You were a
Part 5.
crammer, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a crammer. Yeah. I was a crammer and then a dropper outer of classes because cramming didn't work.
Yeah, because
I was a crammer because I was a UC Santa Barbara graduate. Night before,
big party
boom.
school.
It's the party school.
I don't see you as a
ASU.
party boy though.
I was not. I was the only guy at UC Santa Barbara who doesn't drink, who did not drink at all. I did not party. I didn't do nothing. I stayed in my room and read comics, and every Wednesday.
Santa Barbara is such a fun town.
It is a fun time.
But you got
State Street, man.
You got to
State Street,
get a
that's
few
where I go.
drinks in you and put on a Speedo and just start like pelvic thrusting to victory.
That was a Tuesday night for me at UC Santa Barbara and
Nice.
down in Isla Vista. But I was the comic nerd of UC Santa
You
Barbara.
don't
I did,
say.
and I did.
I had to say that very dryly.
You don't say. Yeah, I was the comic nerd. I spent my weekends at Metro Entertainment, and I was just hanging out all there, reading comics and doing stuff. And occasionally, the cool thing about Santa Barbara is occasionally, but not even occasionally, like routinely, you would see celebrities there. And because Santa
We were
Barbara
walking on the pier and saw John Heater. Not the biggest celebrity, but I was like, "Is that him?" And he was talking to his kids. He's like, "Hey guys, you could pick one piece of candy from the store." I was like, "Yeah, that's Napoleon Dynamite."
And no, because it's the place where celebrities go on weekends.
Yeah.
to get away from Hollywood. It's a small enough town where it's still beautiful, but it's far removed from what they want to go.
That's where they were going and dragged me to hell.
Santa Barbara.
So,
it's one of my favorite towns.
You know,
It takes a lot of effort to get there.
Yeah,
I haven't been there since like 2004 maybe.
So like, you go there. Like I'd
So
be in the
many good
comic
places to
store,
eat.
and then Pierce Brosnan would come in with his kids. He's
That's
got a
interesting.
big old beard, and it's like it's him, but it's like, huh. And then you'd go down at the T spot, like John Cleese would be down there,
Oh, that's
sipping
cool.
a cup of tea, just like reading the newspaper. It's like, huh, that's cool too. So yeah, there's
It's an interesting town. A lot of money in that town.
a lot of money.
I think that the homeless people there are the smartest homeless people I ever met. They do those big things along the pier where it says throw a coin in to feed the tiger, and there's a stuffed tiger holding out, and there's like sandcastles around it. It's like,
They are pretty creative.
yeah.
And we had the most legendary homeless guy in the entire world in our neighborhood in Isla Vista. He was sort of the mascot of UC Santa Barbara. His name was Pirate. He was this homeless guy who had an eye patch on, and he'd been in that neighborhood since the 70s. He died a couple years ago, sadly, but everyone has their story with Pirate. I remember my first story was I was walking around the neighborhood trying to get a bite to eat at night, and it's my first week there, and this guy with an eye patch comes on and says, "You got any spare change for an old pirate?" And I'm like,
Was it Sam Elliott?
I'm like, yeah, here's a buck. He's like, "Yeah, you want to hear a joke? Okay, so guy goes to this restaurant, and he orders a soup, and he looks down, there's a fly in the soup, and he says, 'Hey, waiter, what's this look like to you?' And he says, 'Hey, it looks like he's doing a backstroke.'" And then at night, you would hear him leading these hobo sing-along chants with all the other hobos. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Arr. And then he would do this really gross thing where he's like, "Hey, you got a cigarette? Let me show you a trick." And he would like smoke the cigarette, and he would like suck in the smoke, and he'd puff it out, and then the smoke would come out of his eye socket. And someone finally interviewed him on how he lost his eye and how he ended up in Isla Vista. He's like, "Yeah, during the 70s, like, I was a drug dealer. I had all the drugs you need. And I was like, worked for the CIA, worked for the FBI, I worked for everyone. And then I went up and I was driving my Camaro, and I was driving 120 on the freeway in LA, and then I, blacked out, and I woke up, and my eye, and my
He comes
eyebrow,
up on the fucking on the Google.
and my eye, and all of a sudden I find my eyeball
pirate
is hanging
guy.
out of my face, and I'm trying to put it back in after this car crash, and on that video he actually does that. He does tell that same exact story I told you.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was Pirate. He hung out in our neighborhood in Santa Barbara.
He's on Urban Dictionary.
Mhm.
Always in search of booty, the pirate of Isla Vista reigns supreme among bums, raging on all weekends and willing to show anyone his tricks.
That's better. I mean, the only homeless people I have that are legendary are Donnie the Stunt Bum, and
Wasn't there a guy up in San Francisco that would like yell at people? I mean, I'm sure there's
there's
plenty
a lot
of
of those.
Yeah, but he would wouldn't he like dress up as a tree? Wasn't there a tree guy?
What?
I don't know. We need to end this episode.
Yeah.
Yes,
we're getting off topic.
We're getting off message here.
Thank you for Valley Farms for the delicious food. Thank you to Shannon for guiding us into what beers we should get and the delicious beers at Burning Beard. Thanks for Skybound for giving us that 20% off coupon for Outer Darkness. The first trade, that's Outer 9 to 5, and the coupon in the coupon code checkout. Who's gonna watch it?
Whatchamacallit. And thank you
Outer
to
Dark
Pirate
9 to 5, right?
for that weird, gross trick with your cigarette. and
Your
the
smoky
hole.
eye.
The original Smokey.
But we'll be back next month. We're going to be reading Mars Attacks. We haven't figured out the second book.
Ack, 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 ack.